All right.
Live stream's just preparing, and then you should be okay to start.
It says now streaming live on YouTube. Okay. We're good to go, Alicia? Wonderful. I am Barbara DeBreen, Deputy Mayor for the Township of Southgate, and I'll call the meeting to order on June 26, 2024 at 1:06 p.m. This is a public meeting concerning proposed zoning bylaw amendments pursuant to Section 34 of the Planning Act, File C-1324, Nelson H. Bowman, C-1424, Joseph and Emerson Bowman, C-1524, Brook Lane Industries, Inc. Any person or public body is entitled to attend the public meeting and make written or oral submissions in support of or in opposition of any of the proposed zoning bylaw amendments. Written comments should be submitted to the clerk, Lindsay Green. If a person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submission to the Township of Southgate before the zoning bylaws passed, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of council of the Township of Southgate to the Ontario Land Tribunal. And in addition, they may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the Ontario Land Tribunal. In the opinion of the board, there are reasonable grounds to do so. The first zoning bylaw amendment is file number C-1324, Nelson H. Bowman, I believe. The purpose of the proposed rezoning is to permit an on-farm diversified use, small-scale dry metal works on the subject lands. The proposed zoning workshop and power room would have a combined area of up to 750 square meters with 500 square meters of outside storage. The applicant also proposes to construct a second dwelling unit on the subject property within the future farm cluster created by the proposed workshop, beef farm and shed. An existing home and accessory building to the north of the new farm cluster would be retained. The effect of rezoning would be to permit an on-farm diversified use, dry metal works, along with a new farm dwelling, beef barn, and shed to be constructed as a new farm cluster with a new driveway entrance to the subject lot, while retaining the existing dwelling and accessory structures for rental housing using the existing driveway. Location of the subject lands is Concession 18, Part Lot 7, Geographic Township of Proton, Township of Southgate, civic address 072968, Southgate Road 7. May I please have confirmation from the clerk that proper notice was given in accordance with the Planning Act?
Yes, through you, Chair DeBreen, proper notice was given in accordance with the Act. The sign was posted on the property and notice circulated.
Thank you. I will now ask the planning consultant or our planner, Victoria Mance or Bill White, not sure who's taking this file, to review all correspondence received from commenting agencies and the public.
Perfect. Thank you, Chair DeBreen.
Thanks, Victoria.
So file C-1324, Nelson H. Bowman. No comments received from Enbridge Gas, Hydro One, and Bell Canada. No comments or concerns. Southgate Public Works advised that Side Road 7 has load restrictions but can provide safe access. They have also advised that a second driveway can be approved for the new farm cluster. Grey County advised that the proposed on-farm diversified use complies with policies in the official plan, provided compliance with D6 guidelines for noise is met, and private water and sewage disposal is acceptable for the use. The existing home can be retained as long as it's close to the existing farm cluster as MDS permits. Ecology staff noted that the EP zone could be made up of significant woodlands, significant wildlife habitat, significant valley lands, fish habitat, a river and a stream. So potential impacts are negligible, and an EIS was waived. The Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority advised that the hazard designation in the township official plan generally identifies areas where floodplains, wetlands, and valley slopes are located on site, but county mapping and the township zoning bylaw mapping inaccuracies should be corrected through the application. The authority is also considering a tile drainage application for the property. And the site is subject to authority permitting regulations. So any construction or grading, filling, or excavation within the area will require permission, but the farm cluster proposed does not require a permit. A public comment was received for this as well, an email from Andrew Black objecting to the proposed industrial factory due to the loss of agricultural lands, impact on road infrastructure, and concern with adding another home to the existing homes on the original parcel.
Thank you. When was that letter submitted? Perhaps
It was an
Alicia or
email.
Victoria.
Yeah, so it was only received on June 24th. It missed the agenda, unfortunately, as well as the SVCA comments were received on the 20th. So they'll be uploaded with the minutes following the meeting. And they are available in the online application folder on the planning page of our website.
Yes, thank you. So we have that. Did that one? Any questions or discussion from council at this time? Okay, seeing no hands. I will now ask if the applicant or agent is present to please identify yourself, state your name for the record. Would you like to make any representation on your behalf? I don't see. Oh.
Yes, Solomon Martin.
Hearing
can you hear
none.
me?
Oh, thank you, Solomon. Go ahead.
I don't have anything to say to add to Victoria's presentation, I don't think.
Okay, thank you. Glad you're here. Is there anyone present who would like to make a submission in support of the application? Lindsay, did you have your hand up? No. Is there anyone present that would like to make a submission in opposition of the application? Please state your name and address. Not hearing any. Is there anyone present? Okay, are there any questions or further discussion from members of council? Martin.
Thank you, Chair. Just with the looking at the map of the existing house for the tenants, now it looks like there's another house there. I'm only mentioning this because it says there could be another dwelling made on the property. This one report. So is that what the letter from Mr. Black was kind of hinting at? There's going to be like a whole pile of houses in this area? Is this residential and rural or ag rural? Because there is another lot above, another development, another house above the existing house for the tenants. So that's one house, one property, the tenant's property, this house, and another dwelling that might be put on outside of the cluster. Like, I'm just kind of piggybacking on that comment from Mr. Black about residences. That's all. If Victoria can clear that up.
Bill has unmuted. Sorry, Martin. Bill White
No
has
worries. Thank
unmuted.
you.
Through the chair, yes, you're correct. There are actually two lots created from this original town parcel, and I believe two homes already there, and then the existing home on this farm parcel, and then there would be a new dwelling in the new farm cluster. They're proposing, but as far as this one property goes, there would be two on it. So the other two were severed, looks like more than 18 years ago. So, and then there's a large farm across the road, but there are two created there already. And then the existing house, they'd like to keep it because it's in good shape for rental. So, but as far as this one property goes, there would only be two on it if this is approved.
Go ahead, Martin. Then Joan. Oh, Martin, that's good. Joan, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through the chair, since we didn't get the chance to see the letter? Is it possible for you to read the letter that was sent in?
We read it.
Or
Sure,
put
it
it
was,
on screen.
yeah, sure, that would be helpful. If you can, Alicia, thank you.
Just give me a moment to pull it up for you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
While we're waiting for that to be shared, Bill or Victoria, what is being proposed then is an additional residential unit, which is permitted in the agricultural A1 community. Are there any restrictions as to the size of the new house that would be built in relation to the existing house that they're proposing for rental? And would that additional residential unit, basically it's a garden suite, would be restricted in relation to size as well as term?
If I may, Madam Chair, yes, it would be up to council to decide based on our report. That would be forthcoming, I believe, on the July 3rd meeting. But yes, the new dwelling built in the farm cluster would become the principal dwelling. And so the existing home would become the secondary dwelling, and it would have to be restricted in some way to be secondary. So we would, I think, expect that the new dwelling would be larger and maybe have different setbacks than the existing house. But we'd have to look at how that will all lay out on the property moving forward. But yeah, the idea would be it would comply with the section 6.13 provisions council already put in the zoning bylaw for secondary dwelling units. So in my mind, it has to be secondary. So the new one will have to be bigger and the principal dwelling on the site.
Okay, thank you. So we have the residence letter on the screen. I'll allow time for us to read it. Okay. Has everyone had an adequate amount of time to read the letter? Okay, thank you. Remind everyone that no decision is being made today. That concludes, if there's no other questions from council, Martin?
Yeah, sorry for the delay there. On the site plan or what they're proposing, the proposed shop, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parking lots. Besides the proposed tree buffer, when it comes to time for site plan, is it going to have all the D6 regulations applied, like noise and all that kind of recommendations?
Through the chair, yeah, that's actually included as part of Grey County comments.
Okay,
They need
I
to comply with, yeah, D6 with noise and private water and sewage.
Okay, thank you. I see that now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions from council for this file? Seeing no hands, we'll carry on to the next file, C14-24, Joseph and Emerson Bowman. The purpose of the proposed zoning is to address minimum lot area for the proposed severed and retained lots issued provisional approval under file B1323. Current zoning requires 40 hectares lot area. The severed and retained lots would both have 20 hectares lot area. The retained lot contains an existing farm cluster while the severed lot would contain a new farm cluster to include a proposed on-farm diversified use with the workshop, office, and power room having a combined floor area of 750 square meters with 500 square meters outdoor storage. The effect of the rezoning would be to allow the severed and retained lots under file B1323 to be separated with an existing farm cluster on the retained lot and a new farm cluster on the severed lot with a 750 square meter on-farm diversified use with 500 square meters outdoor storage. The location of the subject lands is Concession 1, Lot 33, Geographic Township of Croton, Township of Southgate, Civic Address 026453, Highway 89. May I please have confirmation from the clerk that proper notice was given in accordance with the Planning Act?
Yes, through you, Chair Dobreen, proper notice was given in accordance with the act. The sign was posted on the property and notice circulated.
Thank you, Lindsay. I will now ask our planning staff to review correspondence received from commenting agencies. Victoria?
Yep. Thank you, Chair Dobreen. Okay, so
Thank you.
file C1424, Joseph Emerson Bowman, Bowman, sorry. Grand River Conservation Authority, Enbridge Gas, Hydro One, and Bell Canada had no concerns or comments. Southgate Public Works identified access to the load restricted road, Southgate Side Road 21, and non-load restricted road Highway 89 is safe, and a road widening is acquired as condition of severance. A turning circle and road construction improvements agreement is required. Grey County advises that provided D6 guidelines can be addressed and comments relating to file B1323 addressed. Planning staff have no concerns. Comments from file B1323 noted that the proposed new farm cluster must meet MDS setbacks, safely provide on-site private water and sewage servicing. Ecology staff also identified hazard lands, and the proposed building envelope on the severed lot is within the previously disturbed area, but the requirement for an EIS is waived. The applicant is also responsible to ensure the endangered and threatened species policy in the PPS is addressed. And that's all.
All right. Thank you very much, Victoria. Are there any questions or discussion from council at this time? Okay, seeing no hands, I will now ask the applicant or agent, if they are present, to please identify yourself, state your name and address for the record. Would you like to make any representation for your application?
Can you hear me again? Solomon Martin.
Sure can. Hi,
Okay.
Solomon.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. I don't have anything to add to Victoria's presentation, I don't think.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone present who would like to make a submission in support of this application? Is there anyone present who would like to make a submission in opposition of this application? Please state your name and address. Hearing none, are there any questions or further discussion required on this file from members of council? Martin.
Thank you, Chair. Victoria, is this ag land that's being under 20 acres, or is it being 89? Is it rural and residential?
This is designated rural and hazard land in the official
Rural
plan.
and hazard land.
Mhm.
So being under 20 acres, what is it going to be? Is it going to be a on-farm diversified use or a home industry?
It'll be on-farm diversified use.
Again, under 20 acres. So that's my point. Thank you.
Okay. Joan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Victoria, did you get any other correspondence from any residents or anything else like the previous file?
Nope. No public comments received.
Okay.
Can I add something here?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Solomon.
Just further to Martin's comments, he was stating it's 20 acres, but it's 20 hectares. That is 50
Yes.
acres, not 20. It's not under 20 acres. It is a 50-acre parcel or 20 hectares.
Thank you. I was trying to get the notice up so that I could just verify that. Thank you for clarifying, Solomon.
Yeah, thank you,
All right.
Solomon. I get them mixed up all the time. Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion from council on this file? Okay, seeing no hands, we'll move on to C-1524, Brook Lane Industries, Inc. The purpose of the proposed rezoning is to permit an on-farm diversified use on the subject lands south of the existing farm residence. The proposed workshop, office, and detached power room will have a combined area of 750 square meters with 500 square meters of outdoor storage. The effect of the proposed rezoning would be to permit an on-farm diversified use, a workshop associated with the existing farm dwelling. A barn and buggy shed would also be constructed to meet current zoning requirements. Location of the subject lands is Concession 12, Part Lot 15, Geographic Township of Croton, Township of Southgate, Civic Address 185552, Gray Road 9. May I please have confirmation from the clerk that proper notice was given under the Planning Act?
Yes, through you, Chair Dobrin, proper notice was given in accordance with the act. The sign was posted and notice was sent out to property owners within 120 meters.
Thank you, Lindsay. I will now ask the planning consultants or planning staff to review correspondence received from commenting agencies and any of the public.
Thank you, Chair Dobreen. So
Thanks,
file
Victoria.
C-1524, Brook Lane Industries, Inc. Enbridge Gas, Hydro One, and Bell Canada had no comments or concerns. Southgate Public Works, the access to the non-load restricted road, Gray Road 9, is safe and road widening is not required. Gray County pre-consulted on this file to identify that there is no concerns, provided a 30-meter buffer is required between the wetland, in addition to a 15-meter buffer between the tributary and area proposed for rezoning can be maintained. The updated Gray County comments indicated that the proposed on-farm diversified use should comply with MDS setbacks, address D6 guidelines, and ensure the subject property can safely provide on-site water and sewage servicing. Ecology staff advised the property contains or is nearby habitat of threatened or endangered species, other identified wetlands, significant woodlands, significant wildlife habitat, potential fish habitat, and a stream. The lands are considered a significant groundwater recharge area. The requirement for an EIS is waived. And the Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority noted the originally proposed on-farm diversified use was located within the SVCA regulated screening area. The updated comments from the SVCA noted that the Township of Southgate should update the environmental protection zone on the property to better reflect site conditions, and they are not in support of the application. And that is all.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, any discussions from council at this time? Monica?
Thank you. Just through you to Victoria. Good afternoon again. Just wanted to ask if you could kindly review that part again about which exact elements that they were not supporting.
Sure. Here, I'll pull up the comments so you can take a look. So it was, I believe part of it was located within the screening area. So they had concern over the rezoned area that would be within it, within the SVCA screening area. And they would likely need to update the site plan or reduce the rezoned area to comply with what SVCA would want.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions from council? Victoria, what is the size in hectares of this property? I see meters and meters squared, and I'm not sure, is it a 50-acre parcel? Is it?
I believe it's over 20 hectares.
Okay, so it's over 50 acres. Okay. Thank you. Anyone present who would like to make is the applicant present and who would like to make a submission in support of their application? Eli Shirk? No? Okay, is there anyone present who would like to submit, who make a submission in support of the application? Is there anyone present who would like to make a submission in opposition of the application? Is there a
Apologies,
need
there's-
for any further? Go ahead, Victoria.
Sorry, there were updates to the site plan, apologies, that Eli made to conform with the SVCA comments. Apologies.
Thank you.
So thank you, Monica. Are we just waiting then to hear back from SVCA to see if those changes in the site plan are satisfactory? And
I
meet
believe they
their
are
requirements?
satisfactory, yep.
Okay, great. Is there a need for any further discussion from council? Joan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Victoria, I noticed in the county report, they also have some concerns. Are those being met, or will they be met by the time the file come back?
Which comments from the county are you referring to?
I was just, they spoke about the habitat endangered species and the SPIS. I guess that has gone over to the SVCA. That's what they will be looking at now.
Yeah, I believe they referred to the SVCA for them to follow up with. They didn't, county ecology staff didn't have any concerns, just we kind of, deferred it to the SVCA.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Joan. Any further questions or discussion required from council on this file? Seeing no hands, I declare the public portion of this meeting adjourned at